We're off to school. Huh?
It's the first day of school.
We're off to school. Huh?
Want to explain what's going
Day
on?
one. Yeah, we signed up Silas for, or signed up me for a training class. So we're off to. Ooh, chicken. It's his first day. I went last week. It was just all the dog owners and the trainer last week, and today's the first day that the dogs join the class.
Excellent.
So we're off.
Have fun.
Eat chickens.
I'm going to do farm chores.
Yay! All right, we'll be back in a couple hours.
Bye.
Hey everybody, it is Matt here on Pumpkin Ridge. It is Saturday, May 2nd, and I'm out here behind the house by the culvert here by the barn where we built our little bridge last week. And it's nice, everything's really turning green, and the water, we've had a lot of wetness, so we've got our culvert is flowing nicely. So yeah, so we've had an off and on rainy week. This morning has been lovely, but it's clouding up, and then tomorrow it's supposed to rain all day. We might get like 1.5 inches of rain tomorrow. So we're gonna try to get some of our outside projects worked on today. I usually film these introductions on Sunday, but we're gonna do it today because it's a nicer day. So for this week, we have some work on the pig pen we started. I have moved my little chicks outside to the coop, so we're going to check on them. I cleaned out the coop nice and clean, so we'll check on the birds, we'll check on the chicks, we'll check on the guinea fowl and see how big they've grown, because they're still in the house, but they've gotten pretty big. Briefly, we'll talk about our incubator, our goose eggs. But before we do anything else today, I want to talk about a scare that we had right here in the culvert. The other day, I was in the kitchen and I heard Darren shout, like a scream, and he came in, and apparently we had a live wire. So he was cleaning out the culvert to get the water flowing a little better. So he was in here, moving the weeds and the rocks, and all of a sudden the water was electrified and he was getting zapped. Super crazy and scary, but he was fine. But that could have been horrible. He could have been electrocuted. So turns out when they disconnected the power from the barn, they cut the wire, and we were told everything was disconnected, right? Well, apparently no, it wasn't disconnected. There was a wire coming from the basement, underground, and coming out in this culvert. And I think periodically, as the water in the culvert was rising and falling, it has been discharging electricity into the water. So we were noticing our electric bill was a little fluctuating and a little crazy. So I'm really curious to see what happens now. We've disconnected the wire. We called an electrician, but they didn't call us back right away. And then in the meantime, we figured out exactly where the wire was coming into the house and what it was attached to. So we shut off the circuits. We disconnected that wire and made it safe. But totally dangerous, totally crazy. Really dodged a bullet there. He could have been killed. So just nuts. And, like I said, we were told by the electricians that everything was disconnected. Maybe we should have looked into that a little closer. But anyway, everyone's good. Everyone's safe. Wire is disconnected. And eventually we are going to run power back to the barn. But before we do that, we have to get the barn fixed. And we've been having a real struggle with that whole situation. Finding somebody to work on the barn and getting it stable. And I don't want to put any animals in there until I know it is 100% safe and not going to fall down and kill my goats or whatever I put in there. So yeah, a little scare to start, but we're good, and we're going to get on with our day and get some things done. So come along and see what we're up to here on Pumpkin Ridge. Yeah, I forgot to mention that Darren went for a little walk the other night. It was like 5:36, and he found 3 giant porcupines out down the back of past the first 2 pastures, past the first meadow. So you could walk down the road. If you look down that way, all the way down the road, through the trees, he looked up and saw a huge porcupine, and then looked to his left or right or whatever, and there was another one, and then there was a third one. So he got some cool footage of those porcupines, and we'll show you that too. That was pretty exciting, as long as they stay away from the dogs. Or the dogs stay away from them.
All right, so I went for a walk, and I'm out in the area next to the Second Meadow, and I see porcupines in the tree. And then I saw one, and then I saw another one, and they're right near each other. So I'll show you the video of the porcupines. That is so cool. There's one in each of my favorite 2 maples here next to the Second Meadow. And then I see another one. Look, check this out.
Oh, I had it backwards. So I am back from class with Silas. He did really well. I was pretty impressed. When we first got there, the trainer had us put our stuff in the building and then get our dogs out of the car and start walking in a circle around some cones. And there was another dog there that was having a hard time, and he was howling. He was like a coonhound mix or something. He was really cool, but he was causing a ruckus, and it got Silas all bananas. He was barking, and his hackles went up, and he was jumping, and totally wacky. And so, like, of course, in front of everybody, he's being a total lunatic. But after like 10 minutes, he fully relaxed, calmed down, and he did really well. I was pretty impressed. So as for a 5-month-old puppy, you know, in a new situation, he's not been around a lot of other dogs except our dogs. He started out rough, but he ended really well. So we got some homework to work on, and then we go back next week. So I'm having fun. I think we did really well. But I'm back home. I've changed into something I can get dirty, and I'm coming to check on Darren and see what he's been up to while I was gone for the last 3 hours. Darren.
I've been getting dirty.
You sure have. Oh my God, you're a little pig pen.
Yeah, I actually washed too. So this is two holes.
2 holes, but look at these
It took
holes.
3 hours.
Our mud holes.
Yeah.
So this is what we're doing. So here is where we're putting the pig pen. And we came to a decision yesterday. Yeah, here I am. We came to a decision yesterday that I think what we're going to do is build a little wooden fence in the front of the pig pen. So I'm going to back up here so we can see. Whoop. So where the string is here in front of Darren is the width, and we're going to put in some posts and build like an attractive rustic wooden fence with a gate on this side, and then the rest of the pig pen we're going to do the hog panels, so we can use less panels because we're going to use recycled wood for the fence. And I think it just will look, I don't know, it'll look more attractive from the road here. And then when we have a nice little wooden fence here, we can do some plantings and things in front to just make it look more lovely. And then we'll get more hog panels along all the way back, across, and then down. So we'll have a nice, huge area for the pigs, and we'll have a more aesthetically pleasing front of the little pen.
Yeah, and it's something we can do now with.
Yeah, we can do now because we went to Tractor Supply yesterday, but we ended up not getting any hog panels yet. It's really hard to get them and bend them to get them in the truck, and they didn't have a lot of people working yesterday. That usually you can get some guys that work there to come help and do it for you, because I have a real hard time bending those hog panels to fit them in the back of the pickup truck. So we'll go another day and get some help to fit them in. And yeah, and even now, so we're gonna build this little wooden fence and it will look really pretty. And then in the future, if we move the pigs somewhere else, we'll still have this nice little structure of the wooden fence. And we can do like a perennial garden or some kind of landscaping here in front of the fence. It'll be
Could we grow raspberries in front of it?
Huh?
Maybe raspberries in front of it?
Maybe.
But we were gonna put a gate too.
We got to put a gate, and we got to deal with, we have this rivulet coming through here, so we have to have some marshy, some things that like wet soil. Oh, Mr. Rooster is screaming. So yeah, so that's what we're doing right now, working on digging holes and getting a fence put in. Slowly.
This is very, very rocky soil.
And yeah, it's very rocky, very wet. And tomorrow it's going to rain like 1.5 inches. It's going to rain all day. So we're not going to be able to get anything done outside tomorrow. So we have a lot of things to do today. I have to clean the chicken coop. Yeah, that's one thing I have to do because it's yucky in there. So we're going to get back to work and get a lot of things done.
So I just removed this giant rock from this hole. So I should be good to go, right? Ah, darn it. All right, that wasn't too easy, but I got those 2 rocks out. So I should be good to go, right? Yeah.
All right, we have an update on our chicks. We are out in the coop. So after last week when I had them out in the crate for the day, they did so well. I realized that I thought they would be fine staying out here. So they've been out here for almost a week in the coop and doing really well. I'm not ready to let them out of this crate yet. They're still really small. And I think the little bantam roosters are gonna attack these little baby cockerels here. So we're gonna keep them in here. This one is really interesting. I like her. Oh, you're a pretty girl. So yeah, the 2, if you remember last week's video, I had the girls and boys separated. They're all back together. And I do think that the these two, that one there and the little black one over there, I do think they're roosters. So I think I have 11 roosters and 6 hens, maybe. Yeah. So it is what it is. I've got a rooster and drake problem I need to address. But yeah, these little cuties are doing pretty good. They've calmed down a lot being out here, to be honest. They were very flighty in the house, in the crate. I couldn't just gently pet them or anything. So I think getting them out here has calmed them down. And they're looking good. No, stay in there, ma'am. This is one of the ones I think is a girl. Boy. Boy, boy. Boy, 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 boy. Too many boys. But yeah, so they're doing pretty well. All All right, friends, enjoy your water. And out here, oh, we've got Mr. Finnegan here, the big guy in the middle. That's my gander, and he's standing over, I believe that's Buffy in the water bowl. And Beth is in the back getting a sip. So they've been laying up a storm. These geese have been getting like 2 eggs every other day. And yeah, they have not gotten any more aggressive than they were. All they do is hiss. There've been no attacking me, nothing like that. So they're pretty mellow as far as geese go. Just a little hissing when they feel like I'm in their space. But they're doing pretty good. What do you think of that, m'lady? I just cleaned the coop out. Oh, what are we talking about over here, little friend? Got a bunch of escapees out there. These guys are feisty little nuggets, and they've been fighting. Also with my drakes here, you might notice there's only 2 left in jail because I have 4 that have escaped jail. They were honestly fighting so badly in there. This poor little guy over here is pretty beat up, and the rest of them are over there, and they're in varying stages of being beat up. But I need to make a hard decision of who I'm keeping and who's going, because there's too many. My runner drakes, though, this black guy here, he's doing great, and the other one's over here in the mud puddle. You can see how my beautiful patch of green grass is now a swamp mud puddle. But the 2 runner ducks don't fight with each other, and they've been pretty good, so we're gonna let them stay. But my harlequins, I do have to deal with that, and that I don't know what that's gonna involve. I think we're gonna have to have a duck dinner, but we'll see. Taking a bath. I just filled that bowl with some fresh drinking water, and it turned into a bath water. But yeah, tomorrow we're supposed to get like 1.5 inches of rain, so this will be all flooded again, and they'll be having a party out here in the rain. But my coop is nice and clean. All fresh shavings, all fresh nest boxes. I just gathered the eggs. I think I got 27 chicken eggs. This morning I got, I don't even know how many duck eggs. But the ducks like to lay under this board. The geese lay under this board, and some of the ducks, they also like to lay behind this board as well. That's where I get the majority of the duck eggs. Oh, and under here, the harlequins like to lay under here because they kind of hide under there from the geese. But I did have success with the chickens are starting to lay in these boxes. So I got like, I think 7 eggs out of these boxes this morning, and the rest were in those 3. But yeah, everyone's doing pretty good, and my coop is nice and fresh. And with the window being open, took the plastic off, it has stayed much drier in here and smelling much better. No ammonia buildup because it has lots of nice ventilation. So we're doing well. Hey girl. This is one of my original girls here. And she has got an eye issue that she had when we got her as a chick. But she's friendly too. Little speckled Sussex. The only issue with these Sussex is that they lay a very small, kind of a dinky little egg. So I might, I won't be getting any more of those, I guess. I'm going to try to stick to the big egg layers. But she's pretty, look at her. Even though you have a funky eye. All right, I gotta go help Darren with the fence. I'm out here in the driveway, and I have some of my plants out here that I overwintered in the basement. So I had a lot of perennials and things that I bought. Like I bought some cuttings on Etsy that I rooted last year. but I didn't get a chance to plant them, and it was getting really cold really fast, so I just threw them in our basement, and our basement is not heated. It gets really cold. It was like 34 degrees down there in the winter, so I figured it was a safe place to overwinter these things. Philip, what's the matter? Mr. Phil is yapping at me. Yeah, so I've moved them out a couple, like last week or the week before. I moved them out thinking it was going to be safe, but we did get a hard freeze and some things were damaged. But I do have my fig trees. Now, I'm a little worried. Some of them got a little touched, but they still feel nice and supple. So I think they're still alive. I think they're going to survive. This one looks a little rough. I don't know what's going to happen with that one. And I have these chestnut trees that I think are going to be fine. And these are kiwi vines, and if you can see, they do have some growth, but some of them had a lot of growth. Some of them had a lot of growth that froze and died. I do think they're going to recover, but I don't know. I think definitely this one will, because it's doing pretty good. This one here looks a little touched. You can see these black, the leaves froze. So this one might, I don't know, we're going to see if it comes back to life. But I've got some other things, some lilacs. These are my little pawpaw seedlings. I don't know what they're going to do. They might be dead. They might not. We have some hazelnuts that are alive. Some more hazelnuts. And I have my persimmons are in here, but they have not started to do anything yet. So we'll see. It's another hazel there, and I've got a thornless raspberry down there. We'll see if that survives. But little hit or miss. We'll give them a few weeks and see how they do. Some I might lose some, but that's what happens. And we also have an update on the goose eggs in my incubator. They are still going strong. Let's see how many days we have left. We have 8 days left of incubation. So in about 5 days, I will put them in lockdown. Stop turning them. But yeah, they are all 6. I candled them the other day. We're still alive. So we'll see how they do in the next week. All right, we have a little update on the guinea fowl keats. I have moved them into the dog kennel. This way they have some perches they can roost on. And they seem quite content in here. They're big enough I don't have the heat on them anymore. And they are growing. They're about 3 weeks old now. Not exactly sure because, they came from Tractor Supply. So they were a few days old when I got them, but I don't know exactly when they were hatched. Hey, babies. But those patterns are really pretty. Little dinosaur babies. So, Darren put in the posts. So we've got 8 feet, 8 feet, a 3-foot gate, and then 2 more 8-foot sections. And the plan is we're going to put boards from section to section and then cut the posts when we figure out exactly how tall we're making the fence. So not too bad. It was a struggle. This soil is very wet and very rocky. So we'll see how it goes. We might have to brace it more. But it looks good. So this will be about a 3-foot high fence with horizontal boards going across, like 3 boards I think going up on each one. And then, like I said, we'll use the hog panels for the sides and the back. I think it will look good when it's all said and done. But that's all we got for today on this project because it's getting chilly. We gotta make dinner and it's gonna rain all day tomorrow. So. Not too bad though for an afternoon of work. And Darren did this all. I didn't do anything. I helped a tiny bit. But no, he did well. He is a trooper.